All right. Take a look, Bruce. Are we live? Hold your tongues.
Hold your tonsils.
I see live up in the corner.
Yeah. Well, there's a delay. There'll always be a delay. So let me go to my account where I can see.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to assume we're live. But yeah, it says live. Yeah. Well, we have one viewer. That's you.
Look at you right there.
Wow. It's like surreal. All right, folks. I guess, yeah, no commercials, no subscriptions, no network, no rules. And at the end of the day, my friends, no comparison. I've kind of lost my voice already. Almost no voice. And here's Copley walking in the middle of the live shot. I love it. We are here. Grab a seat. Get on the stool.
All right.
So we're here. We have a second stool. All right, get another beer. We have a second stool also. So anyone else who wants to jump on a stool,
I'll take a stool.
there you go. Grab a stool. So essentially, I assume people can hear me okay. I'm never going to get used to this microphone thing. Put it down a little. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so essentially this is for the people who were really ardent Banal of America listeners. They know about ParaMania, which is sort of our undercover gathering of Fortean folk, where we go around the country looking at cool paranormal landmarks. And this year I was privileged enough to host the big gathering here in New England. So we just wrapped up ParaMania New England here in New England, doing Exeter, the Exeter UFO incident. We got a tour from Mike. I have to look up his name because I'm so tired. We're all very exhausted, so this is not going to be a very long podcast, nor who knows if it'll be informative. Mike Stevens, who is a fantastic dude, who's going to be on Banal America again sometime, or going to be on Banal America period sometime soon. Then we had the amazing privilege of going up to the International Cryptozoology Museum and having lunch with Lauren Coleman and seeing the whole deal. Grab a stool.
Trying to stay out of shot.
Copley just wandered in from the bathroom. He doesn't.
Sorry about
that. Yeah, and then today we wandered around Salem, so it's been Salem, Mass, and we did America's Stonehenge. We did everything you pretty much can do paranormal-wise within like an hour bubble, 2-hour bubble sort of in the New England area. And it was cool. So we got, yeah, go for it. We got a few folks here who are still left. They're hanging around. They're crashing at the headquarters tonight. And it feels very self-indulgent, and I apologize. I kind of dragged my feet to even do this tonight. And the only fucking reason I'm doing this is because when Bruce put up, and Bruce is here. I don't know, Bruce, give a hello to everybody.
Oh, sit on the stool sample.
Oh, there you go. When Bruce put up the old shows, and I'm bringing Banal America back. That's not a big news thing. But I'm like, well, when the fuck should we do the first show? And then I saw Bruce put the shows up, the first episode, and it was September 10th, 2015. And then I was like, well, fuck. September 10th is today, which is the third day of ParaMania. And I was like, well, that kind of is the perfect time to do a show to sort of relaunch Banal America, revive the program, officially bring it back from the dead, or from its slumber, waking, whatever that is, a giant waking up from his slumber or some shit. I don't know.
Hibernation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hibernation. Yeah. Cornucopias, all that good stuff. And the other part was that we, on the third day of ParaMania in New Orleans, we wrapped up in all of America. We stopped doing regular shows. So it was like the synchronicities of all this. I don't know if that's what you even call them, but they overlap. September 10th, 2015. Here we are, September 10th, 2023. And on the third day of ParaMania, both sort of, so it's all like fucking cycles around. And I figured we should just do a show. even if it's a short program, because that way it's sort of like we're kind of, I feel like it's karmically good to do, I guess. So anyway, we're bringing back the show. Show's coming back. It's going to be on Wednesdays, not this coming Wednesday, but the subsequent Wednesday. So I don't know what day that is, but
It's a Wednesday.
it's a Wednesday. Yeah. So let's do some talking.
All right.
So what do you? I don't know, Bruce. What do you think? Should I move this a little more to like get every?
That sounded fine.
All right. So you can hear you. So Copley, what do you think? What's your ParaMania impressions? What did you like the most about the New England trip?
Well, obviously the cryptozoology, International Cryptozoology Museum, and getting to meet Lauren Coleman in person, kidnapping him, taking him out to the lobster. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that as far as like, meeting somebody with the celebrity hierarchy of paranormal and politics, everything.
Fortean. He likes
You
Fortean.
like Fortean? That's the word he likes. Yeah. That was great. The other thing that I'm noticing is that all these towns like Exeter, Salem, they're all leaning into this paranormal stuff, like to the extreme extent. Like they're making it into like, the big thing. It's like sort of like Lockman Festival.
Yeah.
Virginia. They're all everybody loves it. Like they love the paranormal stuff. Like they're all so,
Yeah.
Those are my takeaways from like New England, ParaMania explorations, whatnot.
There you go. All right. Very good. Bruce, why don't you hop on?
Hop on the hot seat.
So everybody, this is Bruce Magnan. He's pretty much the guy who's been responsible for this YouTube shit. So yeah, this is going to drop on the podcast feed. So if you're listening to this, the whole fucking operation's a mess. Not the YouTube. That's actually excellent. But like, if you go over to Banal America, you have no idea any of this shit's going on. If you're just a subscriber to the podcast feed, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about Banal YouTube? So if this is dropping into your podcast feed this week, and you're like, Banal, where you been? We're over on fucking YouTube now. So come over to YouTube, subscribe over on YouTube. That's where we're gonna get the new episodes going to be posted. As I said, I don't know, 10 days from now, essentially, whatever that Wednesday is going to be the first actual interview. And it's a fucking classic. I got to tell you, folks, it's really good. I already taped it. It's 2.5 hours. I was like, holy shit. Well, I haven't missed a beat there. It was long. So, yeah, but Bruce is the guy who really, I wanted to get Banal America onto YouTube earlier in the year. And I just was all thumbs. I was like a blind man in an orgy. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So Bruce came in and he helped me out, and he has really harnessed all this and really cleaned up all this shit. I can't thank him enough. He's just been a driving force for all this stuff. Yeah. The two people I would credit for the Banal America revival are Bruce and Steve Berg, who was like, we did Conspiranormal, and fucking Steve was like, you gotta get your show going again. And I'm like, oh, it's too hard. And then Steve's like, I have a show now. And I'm like, how did you do that? And so then he showed me, he's like, well, you need to buy a $300 microphone. I'm like, I have one in a drawer here. And then it was like, oh shit, I guess I can just bring Banal America back then. And so, that's it. I'm looking forward to it. We got tons of people we're going to talk to, exciting people. Here, get Kutch in here, including some big time names like this guy sitting down right now, Joshua Kutchin. You probably have heard him on several podcasts. You'll hear him on several more this week. He's booked 5 nights this week, which is insane to me.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, dude.
I was thinking that I had a lot of catching up, a lot of catching up to do.
Oh,
Okay, you are a dad. You get the dad.
oh man. Now you got a new book out.
Yeah, a novel.
Yeah.
Them old ways never died. Brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Out less than 3 weeks now. So yeah.
So I'll ask it just a real, you don't have to do too much, but I'll ask a real question, so, you've written a shitload of, and I'm sure you've answered this on all kinds of shows.
No,
But,
you're
okay, you've written a ton of fiction, no, nonfiction.
Nonfiction.
Now you made the transition to fiction, or you made a foray into fiction.
Testing the waters.
Yeah. Was there any sort of like really significant challenge or difference or something where you're like, I like this a lot more, or this really is harder than I expected, or
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like parenting for me is always like the things that you were so worried about in one phase of parenting go away and they're replaced by new problems. And that was kind of like the same thing with this, because it's I have to, when I do the nonfiction stuff, I have to cite and source endlessly and make sure I get quotes right and stuff like that. With this, you don't have any of that, but you're also staring at, the blinking cursor on the screen and wondering where the heck did this sort of thing come from. So,
yeah.
so yeah, it's different pros and cons for sure. But I wanted to, I just wanted to get this out there, and I did it for me. I have no expectations, but I do have aspirations for it. That's the catchphrase I keep using.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any reflections on this crazy weekend in New England?
Fun and exhausting. No, it was a good hodgepodge of early autumnal activities in New England. We finally got some fall-like weather today. The meeting Lauren, as Zach mentioned, and going to the museum were definite highlights. I signed probably about 80 to 100 books.
Really? Was that many?
It was like 8 stacks of a dozen. So
wow,
somewhere near that range. But that was a ton of fun. I got to go to Salem today, which was a place I've never been, and it was just interesting to. I always like to just be in places and get a sense for what it's like, because you read stories about, obviously Salem doesn't look the way that it did.
Right.
Exeter, kind of still has a lot of the same things going on. The lay of the land's the same. You can see some landmarks and stuff, and it's always cool to get a sense of what these people were going through. When they were walking around, seeing strange things. So just having a sense of that space is always what I look forward to.
Yeah.
We do these.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was a very tiring weekend, that's for sure. Yeah.
It was fun. Fun weekend.
It was a great weekend. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Steve Ray, wherever he is.
All right. Hot seat.
All right.
Take it.
Greg, you want to jump on?
It's weird like sitting here.
I know it's all
Instead of like,
awkward. Yeah, you can come closer. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, it's a new world, man. It's not like when we started doing this shit. Now they're watching us.
I started doing interviews in 1998. But it wasn't podcast. It was on a pirate station.
So, did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. I was trying to think of like highlights. Strangely enough, Betty and Barney Hill's grave.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I was kind of amazed to go there. I was kind of sorry I didn't bring the tarot cards and kind of, fan them out there, which is I do with them. The America Stonehenge, when we first got there, I said, well, this is interesting. And then halfway through, I said, well, this is fake. And then about 3/4 of the way through, I said, all right, this is fake. And I started to really enjoy it. And I told Tim or somebody, it's like, this is like the WWE of of archaeology. Or
Yeah, it's very hard to really kind of wrap.
And it's worth it. It's worth going. I mean, in the same way, I will listen to like silly UFO stories or whatever, knowing that they're probably BS. But if they're entertaining, that's great, And this was an entertaining thing. The other thing was we had a private tour of the Exeter, New Hampshire UFO hotspots, or
Mike
sites.
Stevens, with Mike Stevens.
With Mike Stevens. And Tim said, what are we going to do? We said, why don't we put each other on a group call and then put the phone through the cars, because we had 3 cars going.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was like a convoy.
I think Zach said it was like an episode of Banal of America come to life, because you're driving, you're listening to you talk to somebody.
We could hear you talking to Mike, and Mike was doing the narration for us. And and we're traveling in 3 cars. You're in the front car with Mike, tour guide, and then There's 2 other cars full of people listening to his commentary through their car stereos.
Yeah, it was like a drive-in style, but we were also driving.
Yeah, and he
and
was showing us, this is where the craft was first sighted. This is where the guy saw it, jumped in this ditch, and then like ran and flagged down some cops, and then the cops came and he told us kind of about the aftermath.
It was sort of in between storms, or like the storm was coming in at the same time, so it was like at night.
Oh yeah, it's at night. It was raining.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, we were
Raining.
dodging
It
storm.
was really cool.
Actually, on the way back from
America's Stonehenge.
yeah,
you were like a school child. You
yeah,
so
we were
happy.
driving from Exeter during the daytime back to where we're staying in Hampton, and there was this violent lightning
Yeah.
storm. I've never seen lightning that much and in that close proximity to me. And so we're driving. I was driving the car, and every time lightning hit and would like boom, I'd go, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I don't get that in California.
Yeah.
We kind of get thunderstorms occasionally, and the lightning and thunder is far away. These were like
Yeah, very exciting.
like a couple every minute, and right near the car. And so it was just strangely enough, that was very exciting for me.
yeah, yeah.
And then Cryptozoology Museum with Lauren Coleman. I never met Lauren. I've
Yeah.
known him since the 90s sometime. What, 25 years?
Easily, yeah.
Something like that. And I've never met him. We've talked, we've corresponded, we've emailed.
And he does so many conferences, especially back in the day. I'm surprised
Yeah,
he
and I've
crossed
never
paths.
seen him at a conference, so it was pretty amazing to meet Lauren finally. And I got to sit with him and talk with him at lunch at length. Not really privately, but
No, we
I
were
got
all
very
there.
personal with him about his family life and his parents and what motivated him to do to get into writing about Fortean stuff and Bigfoot, etc., and to do the museum and all that. And I said, you know what, Lauren, I've never had you on the show. And he kind of went, yeah, and he started like fake crying at it. So sometime in the next couple months, I will have a writing Mysterio. So I will talk to Lauren Coleman.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really, it was a special lunch. It was, yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
from the scenery to the food.
yeah, we were on this boat, this tourist like restaurant on a boat, and we sat out on the deck, and we were like overlooking the whole harbor or whatever of Portland. It was a beautiful sunny day. It wasn't too hot. You get a
Yeah.
little breeze off the water.
It was really nice weather.
really quite something.
And the museum was amazing, and just seeing all the stuff that he collected. I said, why you started the museum? It's like too much stuff in my house.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. Yeah, it's just,
That's all of his collection. So it was, and like I said, I used to read Lauren's books before I did any of this stuff. So it was just like, it was like meeting a hero to me pretty much.
yeah,
And then just sitting and talking with him, it was just humanizing Lauren to myself, because I just see him online. I hear him in interviews. I see him on TV or whatever, but we've never actually sat and talked, even on the phone or whatever. We've never talked
yeah.
in the way we talked. And so it was really satisfying to me. I didn't sign as many books as Josh. I think I signed about 50 or something. I don't know what it
Still
was.
plenty of work.
Yeah.
I wrote something different in each book. I put drawings in some. I signed like some of the pages in the back, just stuff like that. But those are for Lauren's for the Cryptozoology Museum. If you get a chance to go down there,
Yeah, folks should definitely go because,
a
yeah,
bunch of Josh's in my book, signed books are there. In addition,
Yeah.
of course, Lauren's books, and I bought some books off of him too because I wanted to sign them. I should have brought the ones I had from home. I was such an idiot. I've got first edition Lauren Coleman books, and I could have had
Oh,
them
man,
signed.
you should have
I'm an
had some.
idiot. Now I have to come back.
yeah, and then Salem today. So it was,
Yeah, Salem. Yeah, I hadn't been to Salem since I was a little boy. I mean, I was like in my 20s with my first girlfriend. We made a trip to the East Coast. Salem did not look like that then.
well, they really,
There's the
Stepped
buildings
it
are all
up.
different. They're, it's all built up. It's like it's goth Disneyland basically.
yeah, it's an interesting place. Yeah, yeah, it's worth going just for the people watching.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
and cool. Oh, you know what, Tim? That pirate museum.
No, the pirate.
I
Museum.
stayed
That
in
was
there
really cool.
Yeah,
way
Greg loved
longer
the
than
pirate
everybody.
museum,
I
yeah.
looked at every exhibit and read everything.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was fascinated by it.
Yeah, it's from the Wida pirate ship folks that crashed off the coast of Cape Cod.
Yeah.
And they have all these artifacts, and they have an actual like treasure chest with part of the treasure there. The only
pirate treasure.
The world's only certified pirate treasure. So
You can touch.
And you
select-
can touch.
you can touch some of it. Yeah. So that was
I
pretty cool.
touched the coins and sort of like tried to psychically move myself back. What is it? 400 years?
Oh, do you like that thing? Whatever it's called there. What's that? Psychic?
Psychometry?
Yeah.
But almost like reverse psychometry. I was
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
communicate with the people that held those coins way back.
So there's
when.
some pirate back then who's like, what the heck is this guy in a ball cap? That's a funny looking hat.
So what you're telling me is you touched the pirate's booty.
Yes,
Yeah.
pirate foods. So yeah,
Yeah. So
amazing.
a fantastic weekend.
Another one of your highlights though was seeing the Bunghole Liquors sign.
Bunghole Liquors, haunted and
Bunghole Liquors.
haunted Bunghole Liquors.
one of the most haunted places in
In
Salem
Salem.
is the Bunghole Liquors.
Demonetized.
There we go. Yep.
So
So yeah.
and
Well,
kind of sprinkly all day, so it was nice and gloomy. And we went to the graveyard there, which I thought was fake, and I had an argument with Josh, and he found out that that graveyard there was actually a real graveyard.
But that's apparently a very common myth is that graveyard in Salem is somehow staged, but it's
I
real.
thought
really?
parts
So
of it were.
I rebutted the cemetery. It's a cemetery, number one, because it's
Yes.
not attached to a church. So
Yeah.
I rebutted the cemetery deniers.
Okay.
in the car. Yeah, it's a cemetery.
It strangely feels like a movie set though when you're walking around.
Well, the thing is, the gravestones were all very.
But then,
They're
Yeah.
thin, and they were well preserved. A lot of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which I don't expect. Because Josh said, "Have you been to any kind of cemeteries or graveyards that are that old?" And I said, "Yeah, pretty much that old." And there's all different types of markers, and half of them are broken. And
Yeah.
this was actually pretty well preserved. There were some that were weakened, and it looked like they had put like masonry around them to kind of. hold
Yeah,
them
I saw
together.
that one.
Some
I think those were
metal-
important people, not
It's
I don't know.
some metal reinforcements as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was I mean, you're just watching, a bunch of goth girls and their bored boyfriends walk through the cemetery. It was pretty cool. So thanks for taking us there.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you everyone for coming. It was good. Adam saying you want to come into the frame. There he is. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Greg did a great rundown there. How about you, Adam? You've actually had some even additional experiences. Well, the cool thing is tomorrow morning we're going to find the place. Steve Ray says I can call now. I don't know how can he call. How do you call into this?
You don't?
I could put him on my speakerphone.
Mm,
Could I?
Yeah, do it.
Well, we'll get to him in a moment if he wants to call my cell phone. Jesus. Yeah, we're going to see the Dover Demon Spot tomorrow. So we're going to try and find it. So that'll be fun. Yeah. How about you? You've had the full experience this weekend. What you think?
Yeah, I don't know how much more I can add. Just
Well,
yeah.
we also went. Adam came in early and we did the
Yeah,
Revolutionary War shit. So,
yeah, Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce and I drove up from Tennessee on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we got here Tuesday night. And on Thursday, before we went and started ParaMania proper, we went to Lexington and Concord. You're supposed to really say it.
yeah, you said it right that time.
And
Well done.
saw that, saw the bridge, saw where the Revolutionary War began, which is really Minuteman National Historical Park.
Yep, we saw also where Walden's Pond,
Malden's
Malden
Pond, yeah,
Pond,
we drove.
whatever his name. Yeah, his
Henry
recreation.
David Thoreau, we drove by that,
Yeah.
and we also saw what Ralph Waldo Emerson's home. We
Yeah.
drove by that as well. Just all these different historical things everywhere you go.
Yeah,
in this
so
area. Really cool.
yeah, it was a
And then
fun.
we're gonna go to Boston tomorrow.
Yeah,
do that.
this guy's wearing me out, folks.
I know. I know.
Good
But
morning,
yeah,
Bob.
I mean, it was it's been a good trip. Really enjoyed Salem. Reiterate just what Goth Disneyland, like Greg said.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
It's an interesting place.
And yeah, it's a very interesting place. We also we went to see we walked by the House of the Seven Gables.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Not only is it Goth Disneyland, but also Nathaniel Hawthorne is from there, so you got literary connections there too.
Yeah.
Lots of historical connections.
You got pictures of the Hocus Pocus house.
Got pictures of
Hocus
the
Pocus house.
one of the Hocus Pocus houses, yeah.
Um,
And yeah, stopped into a few of the shops.
Oh.
Also,
hold on.
see,
Oh Lord.
We'll see. I don't. Steve, turn your radio down.
sir.
All right. Well, we'll see. You're in Charlotte. Okay. Well, we'll find out later how this sounds. But for now, for the sake of sheer insanity, we'll get you. Sorry, Adam. You've been bumped by Steve.
I know.
No, stay there. Stay there. Otherwise, it's just a vacuum cleaner in the background. You need it. So, Steve.
I resent that.
So, thank you for calling in. This is the Banal of America Revival ParaMania, special edition here. Wrap up show. So, and you are of course a big part of ParaMania. And Steve, I'll get pictures up on social media later. But Steve was rocking a velvet suit all day. Tell us.
A beautiful magenta Turkish velvet suit imported directly from Turkey. That's right, some of the finest fashion that you can get in Dallas, Fort Worth, and in all of America, including the Banal of America. It's important, especially in the paranormal.
I like how he sounds like he's doing a live read. Like, is that an ad for someone other than Steve Ray?
For Turkish velvet.
There you go. So what we're talking about the highlights of the trip. Is there anything in particular that stuck out to you that you particularly enjoyed?
Oh, it's I just like the hiking up and around Mystery Hill. That was sort of not a slow burn, but a slow appreciation. Like, okay, maybe they got some rocks, maybe they got some stuff pointed. But when you finally get up there and see just those nests of warrens, like World War I trenches built out of like old flat rocks, like, oh my god, like this couldn't have been faked in the 1800s. This is too much effort. They would have seen them faking it even back then. So yeah, I'm going to go with Mystery Hill for my top pick.
Wow.
Stonehenge? That's American.
Yeah, you mean like I think he means like as you remember how there was the stone thing, then we did kind of the upper part that had the weird like that's kind of yeah.
Yeah. With all the also just the amazing clearing of probably an acre of thick woodland along all these radii going to points on the horizon for the solstice or the equinox. That looks like also maintained even by modern standards. So that is some pre-Columbian Paleolithic wonderworks, if you ask me.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, how's Charlotte Airport? Before I let you go, everything okay? You're in transit right now.
It's fine for the lack of vending machines. It's we've had 3 flights with delayed flights, so my connection was just as late as the first one, so that worked out fine. But all the artisanal and the handmade little booths that would be exquisite food, but it would all close at 10. And I got here at 2. So I wish there was a vending machine right now to get some water, but I'll just have to wait for in-flight service. Other than that, it's a really nice hub. It's got like the short arms for all the A, B, C, D, E wings of gate. It's easy to get around.
Yes. Yeah, it is a fine airport. Well, Steve, I just want to thank you for coming out and making the trip to New England this weekend. You're a doll. I love hanging out with you, man. You make me laugh like nobody else, and I really think it's really fun.
The sound quality is awful. You did. Poor Adam Stain has something to say, so I'm going to bid adieu, putting myself off quickly for once. Mark it down. That's the miracle himself, and we'll talk with you all later.
All right, safe travels, brother.
Did he just blow a kiss?
No, I think that was him hanging up.
Right, everybody.
There you go, Steve. Right.
The man, the myth, the legend.
All right.
Wow.
Well, we'll cut it here. We're
I bet
pull it in.
I have nothing. I have nothing to say to you.
Yeah.
About that.
What's that?
I mean, there's just
I bet Steve Berg could do a great impression.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the funny part is by the time the weekend's up, everyone can do an impression of everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
We
So,
are stuck in the car that much with each other.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is good. We'll pull it right at a half hour. That's perfect. Perfect.
Oh, also we met up with Justin Sledge today.
Yes.
We met with Justin Sledge. We saw him. And yeah, thanks to him he came out and kind of talked a little bit about Salem with us.
Yeah, he happened to be in Salem for a completely different event than what we were there for, and just kind of
brother sled.
yeah
Yeah.
shot him a message, and he came over to Cauldron Black, I think is where we were, and then we went from there and had a beer and hung out a bit. So
Yeah. And Matt Hopewell or AP
Yep.
Prodigious on Twitter.
Maybe strength.
Oh, well, yeah, I think it's AP Prodigious is one of them, and then AP Strange, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Hey,
once the
yeah,
handle-
nice to
yeah.
finally meet him too.
Yeah, he's a really good dude, and I commend him. He drove 2.5 hours up to Portland. Like, that's some serious.
yeah, hung out with us at the
Commitment.
Cryptozoology Museum.
So
Lauren
yeah,
drove 2 hours there and back too.
right. So both of them were troopers. So yeah, that's it. So everybody, come on in and say goodnight, and then I'll say goodnight. So
Good night.
there you go. We got there you go. There's Bruce. Good night, everybody. And yeah, on that note, folks, we're back. I was joking with Kutch. I'm like, I should just be an asshole and say the greatest paranormal podcast of all time is fucking back in all of America. Why not? Everybody else blows their own, toots their fucking own horn. Why shouldn't I? So the best ever is coming back, and we're back starting next Wednesday. And we got an awesome show. And we're getting all kinds of, what is this? Social distancing. Kelly, Kentucky. All right. Thank you. Anyway.
Wednesday the 20th is the date you were looking
Ah, there you go. Wednesday the 20th. Drew Hurst Beeson talking about Yuba County 5. It's going to be awesome. As I said, we already taped the show. And we'll be back, on September 20th. And thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. This is kind of just a raw test run to see how it would work, and also to commemorate the revival and the anniversary. So thanks to all the folks who joined in on the thing. Thanks to all the Paramaniacs who contributed here on this little foray. And on that note, I'm going to end the stream, and we'll call it a night. Good night, everybody.